Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I am here tonight co-recording, so I'm looking up and down on both Facebook Live, and I'm recording for YouTube to be able to upload that. So welcome, welcome. If you are just joining, we have a lot to go over tonight. I always feel like I'm saying that. So if you are just joining me, go ahead and post your astrological sign below and put your sign and where you are tuning in from, because I love to hear all the places that people like to watch from. So welcome. It is Monday on January 23rd, 2023, and I am going to be going over a bunch of things tonight, so definitely you might want to get out a pencil and pen. I'm going to be going over a lot of stuff, especially with the Chinese New Year. That's the big news tonight, is the Chinese New Year. I wore my sparkle shirt because it's the new year. Finally, the new year. Lori, you are my first viewer jumping on, commenting below. Aquarian birthday tomorrow. Hey, happy birthday. That's really awesome. And go ahead and post below your sign if anybody else is joining. I have a bunch of things astrologically to get into for this week, the week of January 23rd. I'm going to review a little bit of last week. I'm going to go into this week. We have a lucky transit this week, which is a very good thing. I'm going to be talking more about that. Also, Pisces is, Venus is going to be moving into the astrological sign of Pisces, so you'll want to watch that. And also, we have the second chance full new moon coming on Saturday. So I'm going to be going over what does all this mean, and we're going to be getting into some questions. But the big news, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on this, is going over the Chinese New Year, and I'm going to go over an astrological forecast for each Chinese zodiac sign. So you want to make sure that you're going to watch that and hang on till the end. Ashley, hello in Vermont. Lavender Lee, Aquarius, yay, welcome. So yes, it looks like we have some people here. Make sure you like this broadcast and right below, because all of that starts getting the algorithm going. And I am co-recording on YouTube. I had a few people telling me that if they try to watch the pre-recorded version of this Facebook Live, that sometimes it delays or it gets wonky. So if you have trouble watching on Facebook, if you're watching this as the pre-recorded, go ahead over to YouTube, because it doesn't do that there for sure. Ashley, Virgo Sun, Libra Moon, Leo Rising. Welcome. You and I both have Leo Rising. So that's really cool. So yes, Happy New Year. I'm wearing my sparkle shirt for tonight. And we are really going to be getting some really cool, interesting, hey, Almir, welcome, Taurus from Vermont. We're going to be having a really lovely kickoff to this week, because we had some really hardcore energies last week. So let's talk about last week just a little. So we had that because, a lot of people might be going, oh my gosh, what the heck has been going on? Because, unfortunately, and I feel just horrible about the shooting rampage that was taking place off in California. And I was just seeing that 11 people are now deceased from that. And so what caused that? So I had made the announcement last week that the sun was going to form a conjunction with Pluto on the same day that Mercury went retrograde. So good news, if you missed that broadcast last week, Mercury is no longer retrograde. Yay. And we are out of the retrogradeness, which is wonderful. But on the same day, the sun and Pluto formed a conjunction. And yes, it was still active over the weekend. And then over the weekend, we also had a wonderful new moon on the 13th. In Aquarius. On Friday, we entered Aquarius season, and then on Saturday, we had the new moon. And so that is amazing. And then on Sunday, Uranus went direct. So what's happened now is there are no retrograde planets right now, which is a huge big deal. There's no retrograde planets. Hey, Lee, welcome, Virgo in Vermont. So that's a big, huge deal. And so we are not going to have any retrograde planets now all the way until almost April, there is going to be a dwarf planet series. She'll go retrograde, but really we're going to have no retrograde planets. So that's really good news if you're wanting to do forward progress moving into the new year finally, because this new year, it really kind of was like a sort of a dud. It was like, you know, we had Mars retrograde, we have Mercury retrograde. So now we have no planets retrograde, and it's like, but unfortunately, like I said in my broadcast last week, that will set up just a lot of energy that was downloaded. So when we look at these big, you know, sort of shooting sprees and just different things that were happening, and a lot of people had a lot of 911 emergency Gretchen calls last week, because last week was filled with this like sort of angsty, triggered shadow work, all the stuff from Pluto being active. I think that kind of over sort of shadowed. So I don't know if any of you felt any of that last week, if you want to comment below, but it was just a lot of stuff. So we're moving out of that. Good news. And by the way, if you're also watching this pre-recorded, and let's say the time frame is beyond this week, and you know you're watching this in April or something, I'm going to try to see if I can timestamp this on YouTube so that you can skip right to the Chinese astrology bit, because that's going to be active the entire year. So even though I'm doing this on my weekly broadcast, that's going to be the entire year. Yeah, Ashley said that she's been so exhausted. Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot. It's just a lot. So when we have that much energy, it's like an onslaught, you know, it's like we're just getting this energy, and it's like, oh, woo, woo, that's a lot. So even if you yourself are not affected, like I said, you know, your partner, your spouse, your children, whoever, you know, they can be affected, which then therefore it affects you anyway. So it's like these global, when we have these big global things that are really like, they're hard to deal with. So we have nice stuff now happening this week. So tomorrow, on Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, we have a lovely sextile between the Sun in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aries. So if you are in Aquarius, or if you are in Aries, really listen up, but we will all be feeling this, because remember, this is the big stuff that's in the sky. Now, we do have kind of an astrological, not fun thing happening between Jupiter and Pluto, and I believe the peak of that, I'm gonna have to look through my calendar, but the peak of that's not coming until like May or June. But they're getting close. It's going to be Jupiter and Pluto are forming a square in the sky between May and June, but we're already feeling it now, because these planets are these really out there long term. So last week, if you remember, the Sun formed a conjunction with Pluto, and that's what I was talking about, the darkness and blah, blah, blah. Now, this week, the Sun's forming a sextile with Jupiter. So see what it's doing? It's already starting to highlight that Jupiter-Pluto square that's going on. But on this week, because they're still kind of far enough, there's enough distance between them, there's now enough time between them, where we felt it on the 18th, but now we're feeling it on the 24th. And the 24th, the thing that's going to happen tomorrow, the peak of it, is going to be much more positive. And so I call this one the play the lottery transit, okay? So the Sun sextile Jupiter is always good luck, good fortune, expansion, optimism, all that good stuff. And so Rita Virgo, hello. Hans, a coagulation. No, not quite that. Conjunction. So the Sun forming a sextile with Jupiter is good for law and legal endeavors. It's good for advertising, publishing, and marketing. It's good for academics and or a career in academia. It is good for long distance travel, or planning trips, or having vacations, or any kind of thing like that. We might be wishing we were on vacation right now, but not quite yet. But this is a really wonderful thing. And Almir said, play the lotto. That's right. I don't condone, I'm not responsible for wins or losses, but I always say, hey, if there's some good, extra little good luck in the air, this is a good thing. This can also be very good for, hold on one second. Catch my breath here. Woo. This can also be good for, I'm getting a little midlife hot flash there. it can also be good for, like I said, planning a trip or connecting with those that are from other lands, from other countries, from other cultures, things like that. See, this is all good stuff. And so this is a wonderful thing that we can kind of look forward to, lean into on Tuesday. Like I said, the peak is Tuesday, but we're feeling it like it's going Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know. So the peak of it, as we get to the height of it, is going to be on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so 5:30 p.m. if you're out on the West Coast. And so that is something that all of us can look forward to. It's really good. Hey, Melinda, Capricorn from Vermont. Hans is making jokes, such a Sagittarius. And so we have this good luck, good fortune transit. I always say if you want to have a good little extra good luck in the atmosphere here, that is a good thing to do. So the Sun sextile Jupiter is tomorrow. Now on Thursday, we have a new astrological sign that Venus is going to be going into Pisces. Venus into Pisces. And by the way, I love those likes, those thumbs up, the little love bubbles. That's wonderful. And go ahead, if you're just joining, welcome, and go ahead and post your astrological sign. And if you are a new viewer, I love that too. Welcome. So Venus is going to be moving into Pisces. This is a new monthly Venus Pisces sort of transit. So now I said monthly, it's roughly like 3-4 weeks. And so Venus has been moving through Aquarius ever since January 2nd of 2023. Now on Thursday, the 26th, Venus is going to move into Pisces. And so Pisces is all about romance and flowers and kind of like melding with another and being with another and all that stuff. It's very romantic. It's sonnets, it's music, it's lighting candles, it's all the romance. Pull out all of the romance. Okay, that is Venus in Pisces. It's going to be going into Pisces at 9:33 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. And this is a new cycle. Now, each and every one of us has our Venus sign somewhere in our chart. Just depends on where it is, astrologically speaking. So, you know, if you might already have Venus in Pisces in your natal birth chart, you'd need to know where your Venus is. Venus will be staying in Pisces all the way up until February 20th, and then it'll move into Aries. So for 1 month almost, we'll have Venus in Pisces. And Venus in Pisces, like I said, is pull out all the stops, pull out all the romance. The only sort of cautionary tale with Venus and Pisces is Venus and Pisces can be very, very unrealistic when it comes to, it's very idealistic. It's very like, oh, the romance and the flowers, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's not really, it's more about the fantasy. It's not really like discerning like a Venus in Virgo. Somebody just wrote their Venus in Virgo. Hey, Donna, Gemini from Alberta, Canada. That's awesome. I love that. Welcome. We are an international astrology audience here. So Venus in Pisces can be it's about the fantasy. It's about escapism. It sometimes is about an idealistic viewpoint or just being in love with love. Oh, you know, but this can also be very enmeshed, like wanting to meld with another, bonding with another, being with them every minute of every day. You know, that can be too much. Venus in Pisces can be very quite unrealistic. So while we're leaning into the Venus in Pisces endeavor, which happens somewhat around this time of year, it's really important to make sure, especially since it's going to be here with us during Valentine's Day, okay? So we're going to have all this expectation. Ooh, that's like very high expectation sort of thing. We're going to have all this high expectation, but we might be let down. Like what happens when the person's up here on the pedestal or we put them above ourselves? We never want to put anybody above ourselves. We always want it to be equal. And so Venus in Pisces is very prone to that. So if you are a person who already is very idealistic and already has unrealistic sort of expectations and things like that, you might be crushed a little bit. And so that's something that you really want to make sure that you keep an eye on that and keep that reined in a little bit. And if you have a trusted friend, I mean a really good trusted friend, you can always say like, hey, you know, I've been dating this new person. They just got out of jail. They're not really calling me very much. Do you think this is a good idea? And the person's going to give you maybe a little bit of another feedback that you can trust, because sometimes with Venus and Pisces, we don't see all that stuff. We just, it's like somehow it's like our brain, you know, kind of is not in our head right at that time. So it's the fantasy, it's the idealism, and it's all the wanting to meld. Now, if you are a Pisces sun, Pisces Venus, Pisces Mars, or whatever, if you have planets in Pisces, you're going to be feeling this very strongly. Or another water sign like Cancer or Scorpio, you'll be feeling this very strongly. If you are a Virgo or Venus in Virgo, this could definitely create like a little bit more of a tension in your love department. It could be a good thing, because Virgo kind of gets in there and goes, that's not really sustainable. That's not really realistic. You know, Venus and Virgo can be quite a little bit harsher. And that could be good maybe to counterbalance some of this. Kate, oh, yay, welcome. She said, Gretchen does amazing birth charts. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stacy, welcome, Virgo here. So we're talking about Venus and Pisces and how Virgo is opposite of Pisces. So Virgo might be feeling this. We're going to be talking a lot about Piscean energy. So Ashley said, yeah, really, really picky. Yeah, Virgo can be a little bit more picky. And even if you are an earth sign, you know, this will be very complementary, because Pisces is water, and what does earth need? Earth needs water. So if you think about Taurus and Capricorn even, again, Virgo's earth, but Virgo is opposite of Pisces. That's the one that's the exception. But if you are a Capricorn or if you are a Taurus, this could be very good in the love department. Now, if you are a fire sign, that could be a little bit harsher, because there's all this water and you know, what does water do? Puts out fire, right? So that could be a little bit more tension in the love department. But really overall, Venus is, I mean, let's face it, Venus is not Pluto. Venus is Venus, and Venus is a wonderful, you know, sign. I mean, she's Aphrodite. She's the goddess of love and beauty. So this is all about, yes, romance. Like I just said, it can be a little, Venus and Pisces can be a little codependent, a little enmeshed, and that's an unhealthy thing. But it can also be just beautiful. Like I said, writing a sonnet and, you know, creating lyrics to a song or whatever. That can be the beautiful part of Venus and Pisces. So if you have Pisces in your chart, yay, you're going to get a nice little treat coming. And then on Saturday, we have another busy weekend. So last weekend, you know, we had that super new moon, which I hope you guys all wrote your new moon manifestations. If you didn't, the second chance new moon is coming on next Saturday on the 28th, January 28th, 2023. And so what it's going to be is it's going to be in Taurus. The second chance new moon is in Taurus. Now I call this the second chance new moon. This is the second quarter lunar cycle, where basically it's going to look like a half a moon in the sky. And what that means is that we are halfway through the last new moon all the way until the next full moon. We're halfway at the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon. So I always call that, I nickname that the second chance new moon. It's technically called the second quarter lunar cycle. And that's going to be on Saturday, January 28th at 10:19 a.m. Now, the sun is going to be in Aquarius, the moon's going to be in Taurus. And those two, sun in Aquarius, moon in Taurus, can be a little contentious. So while I call it the second chance new moon, it is a time to sort of reevaluate, like, what are we doing? So if you think of the farmer again, planting the new seeds on the new moon, And then the halfway point between the new moon, planting the seeds, and the full moon, which is harvesting, there's a halfway point. And the halfway point is always a time of reevaluation. It's like, do I have, those plants have enough water? Do they have enough fertilizer? Or do they have, what they need to grow? Maybe they need a better location or whatever it is. And that's why during second quarter lunar cycles, there's said to be a little bit of tension, or a little bit of, kind of like, oh, we found out this plan's not going to work. I have to come up with a new plan. And so that's what's going to be happening on Saturday, that weekend. So always kind of like know that when that happens, it's not a bad thing. It's just a time of we have to reevaluate something. So that happens on Saturday. And then on Sunday, oh my goodness, we have Mars forming a trine with Mars, so the sun forming a trine with Mars, and Mercury forming a trine with Uranus on the 29th. That is going to be, they're both trines. Both are positive, okay? But that's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of busyness, and that's on Sunday, the 29th. So when you think of Mercury and Uranus, those two are what we call the live wires of the zodiac. So there's a lot of energy, could be a lot of anxiety, little tension. And then we have Mars forming a trine, positive trine with the sun trine Mars. And Mars is the god of war. So that can be even a little bit, kind of a lot of energy with that. The sun, again, is in Aquarius. Mars is in Gemini. We have Mercury in Capricorn forming a trine with Uranus and Taurus. So if you're any one of those signs, you will be feeling that on Sunday. It's a lot of energy. It could be good energy. Remember, they're trines, so they're positive, but there's some players in there, specifically Mars and Uranus, that can be not as fun. Okay, so we just want to make sure it's like one of those times when you could be just joking and laughing, and all of a sudden somebody takes offense to it, or like it just becomes like it tips into becoming too much energy. So you just want to make sure you kind of stay in the happy middle. Welcome, Kelly. Welcome, Phyllis. We have Andrea. Yay. Naomi. Hi. People, go ahead if you want to tag people. That's good in the broadcast. And that way they'll know that I'm live, and also that there's a lot of stuff going on. So that's this week in astrology between January 23rd and January 29th. And so I'm going to switch now into the Chinese New Year, the Chinese Zodiac, and I have a lot to say about that. So I hope you guys, if you have a pen and paper, I'm going to be giving you lots of dates and different things, because you might want to know not only for yourself, but also if you have a loved one, a spouse or a child or a grandchild, or, whatever, you need to know what year that person was born. But basically that's what the deal is. Now, I don't have a way of telling everybody I don't have a whole chart telling everybody what year it is. So if you guys don't know your Chinese animal, you might want to Google free Chinese zodiac calculator, and it will tell you what year you were born and what your Chinese sign is. So happy new year. Now, I told everybody that like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, that the beginning of this particular calendar year was going to be like a weird new year. So in a lot of ways, I actually even looked at this as our real new year. This is like our real new year. So it's Chinese goes by a lunar calendar. We go by solar calendar. Everything's based on the sun and the seasons. And Chinese, and it's not just Chinese, we call it Chinese New Year, but it's celebrated by like people in Vietnam and all over the Asias. So basically it's a Chinese lunar New Year. And that's because of the moon cycles. But also, I didn't know this, and Chinese astrology is not my specialty. Western astrology is, but I have now done these for long enough. And I used to be a writer of people's blogs, and I used to write Chinese horoscopes for a while there. So I have like some experience with it. So basically what the deal is Chinese zodiac was based off of a like sort of a tale, and the tale or the story was about how God, basically there was this big race with all these animals, and whoever won was in the top 10 or top 12 or whatever. Basically that's how those animals were selected for the Chinese zodiac. And so it's all about who came in first place, second place, third place, fourth place. Now, so the winner of the race was the rat, and that was the year 2020. And so that was our like a start of a new Chinese New Year, is the year of the rat. And then the second runner-up was the ox, and that was 2021. And then last year was the tiger. Third place was the tiger, which was 2022. So we had all these years that we've gone through now, rat, ox, tiger. So the fourth place was actually the rabbit. And it was said that the rabbit somehow like lagged behind and found a log and jumped onto the log and then was able to catch up and then actually came in fourth place. So the rabbit got a little like behind, but then caught up. However, in Chinese zodiac, so because the rabbit found this log and had this like fortunate good luck, it is said that the rabbit is actually one of the luckiest of all of the 12 Chinese zodiac signs. So this year of 2023 is supposed to be lucky or like better than some of these previous years that we've had. We had the rat, the ox, the tiger. And I thought it was interesting because during the rat year was during the start of the pandemic. And I was like, whoo, disease, pestilence, I don't know, there's something going on here. So now we have the rabbit. So it is a year, and so just so that you guys know, because it is such a completely different sort of way of doing astrology. Supposedly each of these animal signs has an association with Western astrology. So I just said to you earlier that I was going to be talking a lot about Pisces tonight. The rabbit supposedly is equivalent to the sign of Pisces in Western astrology. So it's interesting because in Western astrology, that's the 12th sign, the last sign. And in Eastern astrology, it is the 4th sign. So it is like a Pisces year. And I think it's going to be so interesting in a global sort of way that we have the Chinese water rabbit. Then we have if you guys remember, and if you never checked it out, you should. It's on my YouTube channel in the list of videos. But we are also in a 7 year, and 7 in astrology is associated with Neptune and Pisces. And then this year we have Saturn going into the astrological sign of Pisces in March. And that's going to be the start of a new 2.5 year cycle with Saturn going into Pisces. So we have all this Pisces energy going on in many different systems. They're all kind of lining up. It's sort of interesting with numerology, Chinese astrology, and then Western astrology. So we have all these different systems. So every single, it's sort of like with us where, like I was saying earlier, like Taurus is an earth sign. So every single Chinese astrology has an association with an element. They have 5 elements and we have 4 elements. So this year is going to be a water rabbit. Now, last year was a water tiger, and water is just like in Western astrology. It's emotions, it's feelings, it's creativity, it's feelings. Did I say feelings? It's feelings. So we had a sort of a gentler tiger last year. I told you it was going to be like a little bit of a fierce year, but kind of gentler because it was a water tiger. Now we have a water rabbit. So rabbits are considered to be more docile creatures, and then we have the water element. This has not happened for a very long time. Since 1963 was the last time we had a water rabbit year. And actually, if you think about emotions, right, that's a very emotional year, right? That was the year that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. So if you think of emotion that was not only felt in the United States, but worldwide, the emotion of John F. Kennedy's assassination that year, right? If you think about, the nation was crying, right? And so hopefully that won't happen again, but it is an interesting sort of way of demonstrating how the water rabbit had functioned before. So if you were born in 1963 and you are a water rabbit, boy, you're getting this extra super duper. This is the first time we've had a water rabbit year since then. We've had other rabbit years, just not the water element. So I'm going to read you the years of the rabbit in the past so that you can know if you are a rabbit. If anybody knows their Chinese astrological zodiac, go ahead and post below. Ashley already started. Rabbit was her birth year. So listen up, Ashley. This is your year. Hello, Wendy. Welcome. Okay, so Lori, you were born in 1963. Yeah, so you're going to be getting a return of that water rabbit element. Holly, you're the dog. Okay. Kelly, oh, you're a rabbit. I didn't know you were a rabbit, Kelly. That makes so much sense. Lori's a tiger. Rita's a pig. Well, I am a pig also. Deborah, rabbit. Okay, well, I know that sounded bad, but you're the boar. Okay, they'll say that, but it's pig or boar. It doesn't matter. Kelly said her sister was born in 1963. Melinda, oh, you're a dragon. Ooh, well, Melinda, that's going to be next year. Jacoy, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but you're a rabbit. Nigel, horse. Okay. Perfect. Wendy, ox. Naomi, rooster. Okay, so you guys, oh my gosh, you guys know. So I'm going to give you the years of the previous rabbit years so that you know. Oh, I love it. Now people are conveying in symbols with the little rat. That's awesome. Donna, a snake. Okay, awesome. Wendy doesn't know what element. There are free Chinese calculators that will tell you the element and the zodiac sign. I'm a metal pig, so woohoo, rock out. All right, so here's the list of dates. 2011. So if you or someone you know was born in these dates, they're rabbit people. 2011, 1999, 1987, 1975, like I just said, 1963, 1951, and 1939. And if you are born in 1939 and you're watching this broadcast, you are awesome. Okay, and so here's the thing. Because it's based on the lunar calendar instead of the solar calendar, it always comes after the second new moon that came after the winter solstice. So if you think of the winter solstice is in December, right, around December 21st or so, then there's 2 new moons on the second new moon. That's when it's almost like an Easter kind of thing where you have to figure out the moons. That's basically what the deal is. So that's why it was last weekend, because last weekend was the new moon, and then we have the Chinese New Year. It was just yesterday. So that's a really fun thing. So it will always be like January or February. So that's when it switches. So you have to if you were born in January or February, you'd really want to look at the calculator, the free online calculator, because that was right when it switched. So you could be one or the other. Okay. So here's the thing. It's all about hope. The rabbit year is all about hope. Hope. Yay, we need some hope. I feel like we need hope. Prosperity. Being clever. Okay, I think of rabbits are pretty clever. They can get themselves out of trouble. Fertile. Anybody out there thinking about having a fertile year as far as reproduction, or maybe adopting a fur baby or a grandbaby, welcoming a grandbaby? So there's fertility. Good fortune. And it's, like I said, it's considered to be the luckiest. Okay. And because it's really associated, like, it has that Piscean sort of energy, these are the dreamers, the artists, okay? People who are very good with math or numbers, science, healthcare. A lot of rabbits are drawn to healthcare, but they are the dreamers, the artists, the dancers, all the different ones. Oh, you're a metal ox. Okay, Wendy, you're a metal. You're another metal. I'm a metal as well. So us metals are cerebral. But water are the feelers. Okay, so remember, this is about feeling. And so rabbits, right, they're very quick, and they always like to have a plan B. Rabbit people tend to have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, you know, like, well, how can I get out of this situation, right? If a lion comes around and wants to eat me, because I mean, everything eats rabbits, you know. I mean, like, there's a lot of animals out there that eat rabbits, so they have to have an escape route. Okay, so rabbit people feel a little too cagey if they're boxed in or closed in some way. Rabbit, funny enough, in Chinese astrology mythology, the rabbit was said to be the pet or a familiar of the moon goddess. Okay, and so rabbits, because she was a goddess, you know, and that was the pet of the goddess, like, rabbits are said to have this quiet confidence, and it's known for a little bit of like this like kind of like don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Like, if you're a goddess's pet, you're not a weak pet, you're a strong pet. So in mythology. So that's one of those things that it's also considered to be a very yin sign, a feminine sign. Okay, it's again empathic and intuitive. Think about Pisces in our zodiac, empathic, intuitive, and divine, associated with divine feminine. So it's considered to be a feminine year. 2023 is gonna be a feminine year, associated more with yin than yang, which we have gone through some yang years. We need, I think, a yin year to chill out all this horrible war and bombing and different things. This is very good for publishing, agriculture, like I said, growing a family, even like anything to do with wood or furniture business, things like that. So that is basically the sort of overall view of the Chinese, what this year 2023 is going to be more. It's considered to be a gentler, calmer year, but we will want to have a backdoor for a backdoor. What's the escape route if things get tough, right? Like, what's our plan? What's our B? What's our plan B, C, and D? All right. So in general, this year is going to be good for goats, dogs, and pigs. Okay, that's a very beneficial year. So this is kind of, if you get confused about the Chinese zodiac, this is kind of the way that you can think of it. And I found this to be very helpful. All the farm animals get along with the other farm animals. So like, there's monkeys and dragons. That's not a farm animal. Okay, but a dog, a goat, a pig, okay, and rabbits, they're all kind of farm animals. So basically, if you are one of those signs, one of the farm animal signs, this is going to be a fantastic year for you, because rabbits really are your best friend. Okay, so however, I'm sorry to say, this is going to be a challenging year if you are a rat, a rooster, and then here's the catch. In Chinese astrology, you'd think that having a return, right? You'd think that having, if you are a rabbit, let's say, and then all of a sudden now we're in a rabbit year, you'd think that would be really good and beneficial. But in Chinese zodiac, they consider that to be not beneficial. And I'm sorry to say that, because all these people are going, I'm a rabbit, yay! They say that rabbit people wouldn't have a good year in a rabbit year. I mean, we have to take that with a grain of salt, but that's the general rule. And so it's sort of interesting, because it's almost like too much of a good thing. And that's possible. So now I'm going to go over the 12 signs. If you are one of these signs, or if you have a friend that's one of these signs, or a spouse or a child, this is what their year is going to be like. So And again, you'll have to Google what sign you are in order to know, because I have no way, it would be so boring to read all those dates on my broadcast. So Wendy Martin said it sounds very, very impressive. Ashley said interesting with the timing of the governor's address. Okay, yeah. So we have a lot. Melinda, you're a water dragon. Oh, so this is a water year. Oh, and Deborah's a water rabbit. Wow, we have some water people on here. So I'm going to read what it means for each particular, and I'm just going to do a very short on each particular one. And then, of course, we're going to get into some questions and some things at the end of the broadcast. Okay. If you are a rabbit, like I just said, welcome to your year. Unfortunately, it's not considered to be an auspicious year for you. There's going to be a lot of changes. They say it's not a great year to get married or to start a new business. Okay, if you are a rabbit and then you're in a rabbit year, it's not. There's gonna be a lot of growth opportunities for you. The positive direction for you this year is the south. Okay, wherever you're located, south of you. Okay. There's going to be good luck for you. I'm going to give, everybody's going to have good luck months. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what your good luck months are. And your lucky colors are red and yellow this year if you are a rabbit. So think about traveling south, moving south, going south for work. Even if it's just south, like to the next town, it still is potentially a good direction. That's what Chinese astrologers believe, that there's lucky directions. Okay. So rabbits, your best months are going to be February and July. But like I said, it's going to be a growth year. And there's going to be a lot of ups and downs and changes. And like I just said with rabbits, right? Escape route for escape route for escape route. So you're going to have to do your rabbit pivoting and turning really quickly. Rabbits, if you ever watch them run, they'll kind of fast. And so you might need to use some of your rabbit's natural abilities that you have to be able to pivot and turn. So the next one is dragon. Dragons, this is going to be a pretty good year for you. Like I said, next year is a dragon year, 2024, right? 2024 is a dragon year. But this year is going to be good for you. Except for between this like summer and autumn time frame, you might want to watch stress levels, because there's going to be a lot more of a lot of work for a dragon. Also you're very prone to overthinking this year. But you could meet a partner. This could be good for love. So just to let you know, this could be good for love. There's a lot of overthinking though. Your metal this year is metals for you. So instead of having lucky colors, it's gold and silver, baby, platinum, okay, titanium, whatever. You got some metals going on. And your lucky months are going to be May and September. Okay, just that you're going to have to watch your stress levels in the summer and like autumn time frame. Okay, so snakes. If you were born the year of the snake, this is going to be abundance and good for your money this year. There's going to be a lot of opportunities, but you need to there's a lot of balance in your energy this year. You're going to have to do a lot of balancing, especially if you have to travel, because this could be a good travel year for snakes. Okay. And you could find love too. There's a like a medium love zone thing going on. Your lucky directions are west and north, and your lucky month is going to be April. Okay. Next is the horse. Okay. Opportunities. And you guys have a really interesting thing where you could meet just the right partner, or as far as like a mentor or a guardian, or somebody that's like there to kind of look out for you, like an ally, basically, like a good friend or somebody that's going to like help you in your life. You could get engaged or married this year if you were a horse astrological sign. But you have to watch a family member's health physical or mental health of your family member. But overall, this will be a good year. Your lucky direction is south, and your lucky months, if you're a horse, are going to be February and November. Okay, so if you are a goat, remember I just said the farm animals get along with the other farm animals. So goats and rabbits are yay. And this is a very, very positive year for you. Like kind of like whatever the year brings, you're going to handle it. This is a very good year to get to know yourself, to observe, to reflect, to kind of like embody and like come inward and have like a good like personal sort of year. It's very good for being at the right place and the right time for a goat. Relations pretty much are going smoothly. Your lucky direction is west. Your colors are gold, blue, and green. Lucky colors. Oh, and you could meet new friends or a new lover. Okay, if you're single and looking. And your lucky months are March, June, and November. All right, monkeys. I think we have a few monkeys. Go, and by the way, you guys are so good. Go ahead and post below if you know your sign. Wendy said your mom's a horse. Oh, and she still has a chance with love. Yes, that is true. That's awesome. All right, so monkeys. This is going to be a really good year for work. You just need to play it safe in both work and sports. Like, in other words, you don't want to be reckless this year, monkey. Remember, you're not one of the farm animals, okay? So you know, the compatibility with a monkey and a rabbit is not as good. So you want to make sure that you're safe, especially if you play sports and especially taking risks, because there could be drama at work or drama in your relationships this year. This year for you, monkey, is all about communication and learning to be clear with communication, communicating your needs, your wants, and your desires. This year, west is lucky for you, and yellow and beige. Okay, I didn't know beige could be a lucky color, but it doesn't feel very. Beige is not like an exciting color, but that's your lucky color. And your lucky month this year is September. So make the most of it, okay? If you are a monkey and you're watching this broadcast. Now, rooster, I told you in the beginning, rooster's kind of not one of the ones that's as positive, even though it is kind of like a farm animal, but I don't know, it's not as positive. There's a little bit of there's a lot of changes with you, rooster, if you are a rooster. And this could be an unstable year for you. It's interesting. I kind of felt like roosters are going to have like almost like a Uranus year. Like weird things could come out of nowhere. Just remain open, remain flexible, pivot and turn with changes and things like that. Your best direction this year is west or north. Your lucky colors are yellow and brown. And by the way, this could be a turning point for you this year, rooster. Like maybe like for example, like maybe like you have like a sort of like a friend or something that's like kind of a toxic friend. You might get rid of them, and then it could increase your good luck and good fortune because you got rid of that toxic situation. Your lucky months are April and August, rooster. So make the best of it because this year might be a little challenging for you. So April and August. Okay. Dogs live on the farm. So dogs, you guys are in the farm animal group, and it's very lucky. There's a lot of advances career, a lot of advances in finance. Just remember, dog, to be humble and kind, okay? And listen, okay? Dogs sometimes can bark at you, so you want to make sure you listen. And your big lesson this year is trust and learning who to trust and who not to trust. Because some dogs, they just bite everybody, and some dogs never bite anybody. And so you kind of want to know who to trust and who not to. But overall, this is a fantastic year for you. Your lucky direction's north, and blue and silver are your colors. And your best month is going to be November. Now pigs, oh my gosh, pigs, a very, very fortunate and very lucky year. Holly said you're a dog, and so true for me. That's awesome. Pigs, another farm animal. So pigs have a really fantastic year this year. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be so much work though. We're going to get so much opportunity that could actually make us need to watch our health, because if we just work and work and work and we get all this opportunity, pigs, especially people who were born the year of the boar, need to rest and need to kind of laze around in the mud puddle and sort of have, a cooling afternoon. That's what pigs like to do. And so if there's too much work and not enough kind of time to rest, pigs can get very out of balance. So if that happens, a pig has to watch their health. But there's a lot of teamwork and collaboration for pigs this year, and a possibility for new love. So that's really all exciting stuff. Pink and purple are the pig colors this year, and south is the lucky direction. Now, pigs and rabbits are so compatible that they get the most amount of lucky months. So lucky pigs, March, July, August, and October for pigs. So those are good months. So if you're looking for a new job or a romance or some kind of a thing, those are the good months. Now we have rats, and this is one of the years that I said was not as positive for a rat. You're going to have to be very quick on your feet. Rats, in general, rats are very resourceful people, people who can get out of tight places, and so you might need to use all of those abilities that you have, because there's some conflict potentially coming this year. Possibly minor injuries, and another sign that needs to focus on communication. I think for a rat, you need to go to warm places. You need to wear cheerful colors. Okay. May is the lucky month. And actually, I know it feels like such a long time, but next January is another lucky month for a rat. It's almost like rats, like at the very end of this astrological new year of rabbit, rats are going to get the final, it's like you're going to work hard all year, and then bam, and in January of next year of 2024, you're going to be able to go and finally implement and put together all the things that you've been working on this year, because it's going to be a little bit of a tougher year for a rat. The next one is ox. And so ox, this is a wonderful year for you. This is travel. There's a lucky sort of star going to be over you for travel. This is good for any kind of travel for pleasure, travel for work, meeting a love partner while traveling. Yellow and white are going to be your lucky colors this year. But this is very good luck, good fortune, and especially with travel. Travel is the big thing for oxes this year. Your lucky month is going to be December, and north is your positive direction. And just watch out for April, might be tricky. Okay. December's good, but April, not so much. And then last but not least, we have the tigers. Now, I just said in the beginning of the broadcast, last year was your year, tiger. So go ahead and post below if you're a tiger, and if let us know if you had a good year last year or not, because remember that what they say generally is that if it's the same sign, that it might not be as good of a year. So you can let us know how that worked for you, tigers. This is a year of patience. It could be somewhat of an unstable year where things go up and down. Spring and summer, you're going to spend recovering. There's a lot of big decisions coming for you in the second half of the year. So not the first half, the second half. Just take things slow. In relationships. So if you do meet somebody, tigers, you got to take it slow. It's going to be we got to get to know each other. No moving in after 1 or 2 months of knowing somebody. You got to take it slow, and you might need more me time this year, tigers. Okay. North and west are your lucky directions. Yellow, blue, and brown are your lucky colors. And March is going to be your lucky month coming up very quickly. Tigers, March is good. May, not so much, but March is your best month of this year. So I hope that helps. You guys got the full rundown. So if you know of anybody, I'm going to be, again, posting this, the Facebook Live on my Facebook page and on YouTube. You can go back and look and see if you missed any or whatever. But I wanted to do, I know every year, when I do this broadcast, everybody goes, but what about, you know, this sign and that sign? So I thought I'd do something different this year and do each sign and what your year is going to be like. And so I thought that would be fun. And if you guys like that, go ahead and post below. So yeah, so hopefully we will have wonderful time with our rabbit energy, that we are going to be kind of coming in this benevolent, gentle, cute little fuzzy bunnies. Okay, we're all going to be cute little fuzzy bunnies this year. No Haas and Pfeffer. None of that. Okay, we want to have nice positive rabbit energies. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about anything, go ahead and post below. I saw some come in, but I can't go back. Oh, yes. Ashley's been having visitation from a loved one that passed away. Yeah, I mean, that often comes too with this Pluto stuff and portal energies and things like that. Wendy said, can we ride the rabbit wagon if we are another sign? Absolutely. I think we should make that a new rule. Andrea said that was really fun. Thank you. So yeah, so you'll have to see if you have, again, friends or loved ones or something, you want to figure out their sign. If you don't know it, you can do like some kind of free calculator, and I'll tell you. There's a ton of them out there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and answer some energy questions here. I'd like to take some new ones. Juliet said thank you. And what do we need to know for this week coming up astrologically? You know, we have supposedly a lucky week coming. So yeah. You're welcome, Melinda. Great. She said, great broadcast. Thank you for the information. Yeah, let's ride the lucky rabbit wagon. I'm going to pull one card for Ashley, and then I think I'll just pull a card for the week. What do we need to know about this astrological week? So let me pull one card for Ashley and her deceased loved one that has been making visitations. What does he need her to know? Oh, you got a card that was jumping out there, so I grabbed it. You got confidence, Ashley. He wants you to know about confidence. Okay, speaking up for yourself, standing up for yourself. And also, even though this is the card of Archangel Michael, this is saying that he is also there helping to protect you and to guide you. Okay, Archangel Michael is always the one with the sword and the shield and all that. So yeah, so he is there to protect you and to look over you, and he is your protector and your guardian. So there's that. So interesting. I don't know why I'm like all of a sudden feeling like leather. Almost like it's almost like a smell, like a leather smell. I don't know what that means. If it means anything to you about Carrie's energy, but it feels like the smell of leather. And so he might come through to you with a scent like that. And that will be his indication that he's with you as well. Phyllis said positive energy. Thank you. Donna said, I really hope I have a good week or a year. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to just pull one card for the week. What do we need to know about this lucky transit energy that we have going on with the Sun sextile Jupiter? We also have Venus moving into Pisces. And then we have this wonderful second chance new moon coming on Saturday. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And so, yeah, so it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, thank you, Darlene said I look pretty. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what do we need to know about this energy? We're asking the guardians, the angels, and their spirit guides. What do we need to know about the energy for this? Woo, 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 woo. Too many to read there. That's a lot. I always tell people when you're doing your own cards, if cards are starting to like kind of move and fly about and become very animated, that means that there's a lot of energy. So this week might have a lot of energy with it. Okay. Emotions. This week is the card of emotions. This is Saint Dymphna, this card, and she was the patron saint of the mentally ill. And it doesn't have to just be like bipolar or schizophrenic or something. It could be anxiety, it could be depression, any kind of thing. This with emotions, we have a lot of emotions. Remember, Venus moving into Pisces, that's emotional. Okay, we just started the water's emotional. The rabbit year is emotional. We have Saturn moving into Pisces in March. That'll be emotional. It's all these emotions. 7-year Neptune Pisces year, that's emotional. So okay, I just said, we might be in for some emotions. So Saint Dymphna is the patron saint that looks over, and it doesn't matter what religion you are. She can help us to sort of watch over a loved one, ourselves, or somebody that might be in trouble or feeling down, blue, depressed, or whatever. Definitely, I think that she's there. Also, too, if there's addiction or suicidal energy or something, that's Saint Dymphna. She is very good at helping. So if you know anybody that's in any kind of trouble like that, or even if you're experiencing those types of things, like somebody said on here, high anxiety. Yeah, I mean, so it's definitely going to be, maybe a Saint Dymphna moment. That's interesting. She tried to jump out again. I just saw, speak your truth, speak your truth. Saint Bernadette, speak your truth. I felt guided to pull another card with this week as well. So if we do have, sometimes naming, it's so interesting how language and emotions are so closely tied, but sometimes naming how we feel. I feel angry, or I feel whatever, sad, or I feel, sometimes it just releases the energy and just lets it kind of like burns off the steam of the angst that we're feeling. Just naming, saying like, I feel anxious, somebody just said on the broadcast. Well, that can help actually to sort of just release the steam a little bit and say, oh, dang it, this has been hard, or I feel grief. Pisces is grief too. Processing grief and dealing with grief. Like I said, John F. Kennedy was shot the last time that, the water rabbit year came around. So that was a lot of people. I wasn't alive then, but a lot of people grieved. And for many years after, everybody sort of remembers the moment. And so that's grief. And so, naming it and saying, you know what, I am effing sad because this person or animal or whatever is no longer with me in the physical. Just know that they're always with you, though. They're always with you on the other side, even if you personally can't feel them or you have trouble connecting with them. Our loved ones are always with us. Oh, thank you. Ashley said, Rabbit Wagon Crew. Yes. So I hope that helps everybody. I hope that you had a wonderful Chinese New Year. This is the year of the water rabbit. And so really harvest some of that positive water attribute. And even if this is what they say is a challenging year for you, I think you can still harness some positive rabbit energy. I think we all could. So I hope that helps everybody. If you really enjoyed this, make sure you go over to YouTube and make sure that you like my channel, subscribe to my channel, because I am going to be starting to post YouTube specific content, exclusive content on there. So you want to make sure that you don't miss out. Okay, everybody, if you want to have a personalized astrological session with me, feel free to text me. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And happy Year of the Rabbit 2023. Here we are. All right, everybody, take care. Namaste and have a good night.